welcome, one and all. Welcome to another wonderful episode, and with my cohort here, Mr. Russ Meadows. How are you,
everybody?
And by the way, I'd like to personally thank Russ for waking me up while I was in the middle of a puzzle at 8:01. At 8:01, and saying, "Hey, we ready to go on?"
That's why you pay me the big bucks, buddy.
That's why I pay him the big bucks. I'm telling you, folks, it's crazy. So let's see what we do today, huh? I was actually considering doing something, but let's see if I come up with something better. Well, one of the things that I was going to show today is, you guys saw my diorama last week, and I've got it here next to me if you want to see it again. But what I did, which I haven't shown on camera yet, I showed you guys how to do. I showed you guys how to do the actual floor plan of the diorama, right? But yeah. I did not.
Make yourself bigger.
Yeah, let me do that. Yeah. So I showed you how to do the actual floor plan. I didn't show you how to make the pieces, but it's pretty darn simple. But I'll show you that in 2 steps right now while we wait for more people to join us. But yeah, that's a pretty simple move. Let me go ahead and show you that, and then we'll come up with some sort of fancy project for us today. How you doing, Russ?
Oh, I'm doing outstanding.
Excellent.
Couldn't be any better.
Yeah, I've been. Well, I got to be honest with you today. I don't know. It's one of those, I guess, eye-opening moments, but it wasn't, self-eye-opening moments. One of my daughters was feeling a little not under the weather, but she's and stressed, and you go, oh, let's take your blood pressure, Mom, so we take the blood pressure cuff. Now, I haven't taken my blood pressure in years, and I know it's normally high. My blood pressure is normally like 140 over 90 or something, or 140 over 96. So now, granted, these blood pressure cuff things are not the most accurate in the world. The first reading it took of mine was 180 over 160, which, 185 over 160, which is now the second one. I switched arms, and on the right arm, it said 163 over 136. Now,
that still sounds high, right?
That's high. Let's put it over 140 is over 140 is I guess borderline, if you want to call it. Over 180 is basically heart attack. So obviously I'm not having a heart attack that first time I took it. I hope I wasn't having a heart attack. Now, granted, I just finished a huge steak dinner, so that might have something to do with it.
Go ahead and put your wife's phone number in the private chat for me, just in case something happens.
Just in case something happens here. Yeah, there you go. No, but times like that, when you start looking at the when you start seeing the not the writing on the wall, but well,
that's the first thing that came to my mind.
yeah, that too. So let me see if I can make it to both my daughter's weddings. So let me I gotta take it easy. I'm hitting 265, 270 on the weight scale.
Really?
Yeah, and I'm 5'7", so I shouldn't be anywhere near that high. That's
same here. You're about where I'm at.
Anything over 240 is considered obese. So I'm not like monstrous, but let's put it this way. People go, "Oh, you like beer, huh?" And no, I don't drink beer. So this gut has come from somewhere. So
You don't know how many times I've had that question put to me.
Oh my
I
God.
told them, no, this ain't beer. This is hamburgers.
Yeah, for me it's bread and cheese mostly. But anyway, let's go say hello to some of the folks out there. Good evening, Herb Hooper. George, good to see you. I haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you out there. And those are all the people that I know. There's 17 out there so far, and in both things, in both Facebook and YouTube. But you're all nice and relaxed and watching on your TVs and not commenting, and I can appreciate that. I do that all the time myself. So let's move on and let's let me show you what I was talking about with the okay, let me get to my sharing screen here. First, let me connect my machine. Network, that one, share, done. Okay, that's good. And now, share screen.
Make yourself big if you can.
I will.
Might do it better.
Yep, I'll be switching as soon as I share. So, application there. So many buttons, so many buttons. There we go. All right, so that's what I was working on last week, obviously.
Yeah.
You guys saw that. Yeah, I haven't touched that computer since.
Wow, it looks real familiar.
Yeah, I'm telling you. All right, so let's see. We shall save this and open up. Let's see if I have the other one open here. Oh, let me see if I go to here and Javi's diorama. There it is. All right, so this is the original. I mean, this is the floor plan part of it. Obviously, I've got multiple layers here. So let me show you what I did on one of these. Because right now, look at all the layers I got on here. I got tons and tons and tons and tons of layers. All right, so let's get rid of most of these.
While you're thinking about it, say hi to Dave Krause. Andrew Haig just joined us.
Good evening, Dave, and good evening, Andrew. Good, and Andrew's going to be pretty soon. I'll be up there in Andrew's world this weekend. Actually, I'm going up this weekend, and I'll be painting some cabinets for my cousin. But on Sunday, Andrew said he could join me for a little bit. Hopefully, he can make it, and we'll do a little burning of the bamboo.
Yeah,
and hopefully I'll be able to clear the edge of the lake. Okay, so here we go. This one's okay. This has a whole thing on it. Let me see. Okay, 2x6 frame. All right, so. Okay, 2x6 frame and windows. There we go. Okay, so let's say I was going to make, and I'll show you guys on this one. Let's say I'm going to make. I better make myself a little larger. All right, so let's say I'm going to make this. Can't even see this piece right here. This one little solid 2x6 piece that is the front door, or rather the window and the front door, the hallway window and the dining room window and the front door. All right.
Gotcha.
So, I mean, I'm just going to do that one because, come on, it's pretty darn simple. Now, first thing I would do is obviously zoom into the section that I need. It's nothing short of this. This is what I did throughout the whole thing. I went to the drawing tab. I did a rectangle. Actually, I copied and pasted and used the original rectangles. But for this point right now, I'll make a single rectangle here. And now I made another rectangle here for the window and another rectangle here for the doorway. It's just that simple. So now let me take those three that I just made. What happened to the first one?
Hey, Marvin joined us. Say hello to Mervin.
Hey,
Patrick
Mervin,
Portnoy.
good to see you. Good to see you. Okay, hang on a second. I see what I did. I made them all curved because the last thing I worked on, I had curved corners. So let me just move those to a new layer. And then so we're just going to be working with these. Okay, so there's our front door over here. No, sorry. This is backwards. There's our front window. What is our? Hang on a second. Let me see. Oh, I see. Yeah, I see what I did. I took the. I didn't take into account the side lights, so let me just go ahead and open it up all the way to the end. There we go. Now, all right. So there's the front window and there's the door. So now we have our windows, we have our doors. Now, one thing we need to correct, obviously, is this stupid curved corner. Let's make them square. Come on, where are you? Square. There we go. Square, apply. Square, apply. And come on, give me that last one. Goodness gracious. All right, I have to close it. Get rid of this one. Get rid of
You may have to make it bigger.
Yeah, sorry. Let me make it bigger for you guys. I'll do that in a second. All right, so then here we go. And come on. There we go. Choose it. Go to the square. Oh, well, whatever.
Just wanting to be contrary.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I'm not having a good day today. Okay, forget that. Let's just do it the old-fashioned way, manually. All right, move that over here. Move that over here. Anyway, the point is, we have now our three rectangles, even though it doesn't look like three rectangles. Now, what I did was the following. I took all three rectangles, and then I made them, I resized them. It's a simple matter of, now remember, you gotta know the proportions. So the proportions for me are, let's see, 9 feet was, I think it was 2 inches or 3 inches. I don't even, I can measure it. I got my measuring tape here. Hang on. Yeah, there it is. 3 inches, and my scale was about 1/24th, but it was just a little smaller than that. So, but I did the numbers on a calculator, and so basically, what I want to do is create this to be 3 inches tall. So, all I did was stretch it to 3 inches tall. Oh, yeah, let me enlarge that for you guys. There we go. So stretch it to 3 inches tall. Where am I? Oh, yeah, well, it helps if you know what? Why am I doing this the hard way? Okay, there we go. Resize. From the bottom left, and the height is 3 inches. Boom. That's simple. All of them are 3 inches, though. So what we will, hey, okay, let's try this again without linking X and Y. All right, there's our first mistake. And 3 inches. Boom. All right, so we got 3 inches. Obviously, these things should have been aligned, so I'm not even going to worry about it now. But just for the sake of alignment's sake, let's go ahead and just align these things. And that is there. And then what I did was, I mean, I moved everything 3 inches, but obviously this from the top is 1 inch less. So anyways, the way I did it was actually 2 inches to the top of the door and the top of the window. coincidentally. We go back to our little thing here. We choose these two, and it's going to be 2 inches tall. And then the window itself, now we go from the top, and it was basically 1.2 inches in height. So we've got our window. Actually, the window's supposed to be a little higher. So, well, you know, artistic license here. You know. So anyway, there's our window. There's our doorway, and we basically cut out all our shapes. Now you'll notice, or if you've noticed in my diorama, and you could go all out with a Dazuki or with stuff. I've got all rounded corners. None of these square corners on they're all rounded there. That's no big deal. Yeah, I could trim that out in no time. Really, it's a very, very rough diorama. I keep calling it a diorama because I don't want to call it a dollhouse, and there's no other word for it. But basically,
call it a model.
Model. That sounds good. My model. The model home is it's very roughly to scale, but it is to scale, and it gives me a good idea of what I'm looking at. The thing is, the funny part is that since the entire house is so relatively large, you know, like I'll give you a perfect example. You know, it doesn't actually look correct. I mean, give you an example. This little thing here looks like a closet, right? That is actually the guest bathroom, and that is 7 foot by 12 foot.
Wow.
So yeah, it doesn't look like much. This is actually a walk-in closet from this side, you know. So, you know, these things don't look exactly, you know, to scale, but you know, some of these things look so tiny. This little pantry. This is a little pantry. Look at that tiny little. That's 8 foot by 8 foot. That's the size of a small bedroom. You know, but I mean, there are something to be said for exact scale models with everything. Let me go say hello to the people that have just popped in. Good to see you, Mervin. Good to see you, Steve C. And well, that's it for now. The ones that at least have and Patrick, of course. The ones that have dinged in. All right, now let's see what we do today. Let's come up with some nice little project. Let's see. Anyone have any suggestions while I'm
somebody throw something out there?
Do it. I love it. Love the idea. Somebody throw something.
Put him on the spot.
Come on, man. I don't want to be searching for stuff. Yeah, there you go.
Gotta get him back for being late.
There you go. There you go. That's right. That's absolutely right.
Put him on the spot.
That's right. Make my job easy for not preparing.
Ed Newman just joined us.
Good to see you, Ed. All right, so let's see what we come up with today. Okay, so I mean, I'll come up with a little sign, if anything. That's kind of cute. I'm strolling through Pinterest. I don't want to show it up there in case there's any copyrighted images. I don't need that copyright or pornographic images for that matter. Don't want to be not that there's any, but you never know.
If it's Murphy's Law, would get you.
Yeah. I've never seen any, but the moment I go live, that's when it happens. All right, let's that chair, that stool is not. It's kind of. Well, that's interesting. No, it's not. Okay. I'm looking at lots of little designs here. CNC. Let me try.
Well, Dave Krause said, scale out your workshop. Show us that.
Scale out the workshop. Well, actually, yeah. Let me go ahead and I can do that. That's what I was planning on doing, and I might as well show it to you guys. I got it here, but let me look for it real quick, and then we can do that. I have an extremely well. You'll
Well, there's quite a few of us that'll be drooling when you finally get that dadgum thing finished.
yeah, you're not the only one. I'll be the first one drooling. So let you guys in. Let me see. So we're getting closer, folks. We're getting closer. You know, things are moving along as far as on the financial papers. So I
Good.
expect to hear word anytime soon. But you know, every time I say that, it's been 5. You know, this should have started in November because of the. I'll say the French word a douchebag of a neighbor that doesn't like to mind his own business. It delayed me 3 or 4 months. So then I should have started in. Well, actually, I did. I started in January, the process, but I actually started in October. But January, I got rolling on the signatures and all that. And darned if it doesn't take a lot longer than I expected. So, you know, I expected the financing to come through in maybe 1 month or two. It's turning out to be 3 or 4, and there's no end in sight. Well, I'm hoping. You know, I keep looking and I keep seeing a light. And
it's a pinprick.
No, unfortunately, it's a train every time. But we'll get there. We'll get there, folks. And believe me, as soon as I'm out there, you guys will be one of the first to know. And because I'll be broadcasting from there every single week, especially once I'm set up. Might go a couple weeks during the transition. But anyway, let's see. And I'm still looking through here. All right. So we are looking for the shop. I'm getting there.
That's good. You got 32 minutes left.
Yeah, plenty of time. Architectural plans, shop. Where's my shop plans? I'm looking. You know what? Let me type in metal and see if I'm almost sure I saved it under metal building plans. Sure enough, I did. All right. Excuse me, folks, while I open this and save it as a JPEG to import it into the other one, blah, blah, blah. All right. Okay. Well, actually, I might as well just share the screen with you guys. Let me do that real quick. All right, so here we go. So here you go. Nice and small. Let's zoom in for a little bit. Alrighty. Sorry, folks. Let's. I'm looking at 2 windows at once. All right, so this is in fact. Well, let me show you the whole thing. This is the. I can do it easier this way. You guys have seen the plans before, or roughly, but this is the entire garage as it will eventually look. In the beginning, when it's built, it's just going to be one big empty garage. This will take time, and this is phase 2, phase 3. This is after I move in. But basically, we're looking at a 40 by 80 building. Okay, so this is actually 40 foot wide and 80 foot deep. And let's start with the bottom to show you guys what's happening over here. Hang on. Trying to see how I can. Here we go. All right. The part of the building, and I've mentioned it a number of times when I've done walkthroughs. The house. In fact, let me show you the house. So here's the house. Imagine the house actually. This is how it looks. Let me see. Hang on a second. I don't even know which way I'm facing, but regardless, okay. This may be backwards to you guys, but this is the front of the house. And on the side here, where I've got my finger, right there, there's a doorway. That doorway, for you guys that remember roughly what the plans look like, that doorway will go to right here. Here's the doorway of the house. The house is probably about here. The 2-car garage, this is actually this 20-foot here on the 2-car garage is actually completely open. I mean, let's put it this way. The house starts about right here in this corner where I've got my arrow. There's 15 feet in between the house and the garage and the metal building, I should say. And that is the extreme front corner of the house. The house on the back side is even. Imagine, if you will, the house is clearly wider than it is longer. This one is longer than it is wide, obviously. So 2 rectangles kind of put, in an L shape, if you will. So the driveway is all around here. People will drive in through the driveway, and this will be a partition space with firewalls and everything, because it's for cars, and I don't want any carbon monoxide. Well, not that it matters, because it's completely open. Here's my 16x8 garage door. All right, so there you go. Nice wide double garage door, and a lot of space here for whatever type of shelving I'm going to place. Also, as you can see, the hallway is a good 6-7 feet wide. So I'll decide that again in phase 2. So there's plenty of room for people to walk through, go into the door, and I still have all these 2-foot shelves here. This is for, Christmas supplies and whatnots. Now, keep in mind, this 2-car garage is going to be 7 feet tall, 7 or 8 feet tall, because obviously you have a 16x8. It might be a 16x7 garage door. The sides of the building are 10 foot. So this garage here at the peak, this is roughly the center of the steel building. You're looking at 18 and a half feet on the peak, on the inside. So if this is 7, or let's say it's 8 feet tall, we're still going to have 10 feet of space from here to the ceiling, which means I'm putting rafters all up here. It's not just a division. I'm actually enclosing this whole thing, and I'm putting a little lift around this area right over here. I'm going to have a nice little you'll see what type of lift I make. That's going to be another one of my projects. And basically I'll be able to carry stuff like, because I was speaking earlier about Christmas supplies, I could pack all types of stuff. I mean, come on, we've got 25 by 30 foot, a whole space. And we're becoming more and more minimalist as well. My wife is, anyways. But
I was going to say we'd have to see that to believe it.
yeah, exactly. But in case I need the space, I've got the space now. So what happens over here? Over here, I've got the 10 by 10 roll door in the front. I've got the regular entrance door in case anybody wants to come into the garage from the outside. Obviously, they open the garage door over here. I've got my 10 by 10 roll door, which I can keep open for a cross breeze, which goes through the 12 by 12 roll door in the back. So then I could store my mower here. I store my tractor here. I store my, here is, this right here is a paint booth. Again, this is all just preliminary drawings that we'll see what I finally decide, because I'll probably be moving a lot of this stuff around. The only thing that is for certain here is the metal building itself and the concrete slab. So the paint booth is going to be, again, like this. It's going to be an enclosed room. It's going to be about standard 8 foot, 7.5, 8 foot high, probably maybe a little bit more, because I'll be able to twirl around I'll probably have a double door and twirl around just so I can get any type of cabinetry that I need in there. But I want it to be small, because I decided, look, rather than trying to make the whole thing, dust free, that doesn't make any sense. I mean, I've got a CNC, I've got all types of tools. The best thing is make one dust free room. And, so then that way, I don't care about the dust in why is this thing doing this? Okay, here we go. I don't care about the dust in the rest of the shop, because frankly, I open up the doors, I put a big blower motor, and it all blows out into the forest. So the dust collector, the reason why I'm enclosing this room, the dust collector room, is, and I'm trying to keep it centralized, so it's in the center of on this side of the shop. The reason why I'm keeping this thing enclosed is for obvious reasons. Noise. I don't like dust collection noise. I mean, it's bad enough that I have to listen to all the machinery. Then you got all sorts of different shop tools and stuff. On the corner here, we're going to have the plywood storage. We're going to have my panel saw. I actually have a stand-up panel saw. And on this side will be all the, again, this is not set in stone, but I figure if I'm going to back the car up over here, everything will be on rollers over here. But if I back the car up, I could just drop off the plywood here, drop off the long boards on shelves here. These are just, an outfeed table. I mean, a bench and a layout and assembly bench. This is a mobile A-frame for, again, whatever. There's my office with the 2 windows looking out the back and looking to the side where the pool will be. Obviously, the house is going to be around 15 feet to the right. So, but I will have a gap in here that I can look diagonally and see my backyard. I have a nice little bathroom there. This little section here is kind of interesting. I'm actually going to have a partition wall here, just for the sake of this is where I'm going to keep all my garbage, all my crap. I mean, bottom line is we all got to have a place for it somewhere. So I'm going to have shelves after shelves after shelves. Basically, I don't know how many of you guys have seen me walking through my container, but that's basically the size of it. And that's where all the plumbing supplies, electrical supplies, all things like that. I'm going to have my other woodworking stuff and hardware and all that in nice little custom cabinets, with doors on them. And the reason I'm putting a partition here rather than just an open space is because I want to be able to go into this space and I want to be able to go to this space, and no matter what, when I'm looking, hopefully I don't see, this. I don't want to see a mess everywhere. I'm tired of the mess, and the mess is partially my habits, but mostly because I have two other rooms in the house which are spotless, and the big thing is I'm very good about keeping it compartmentalized. But the big thing is the space. And then we have, okay, so you guys saw the bathroom, you saw the shelves. We'll have our there's our this is actually a bandsaw over here. This little square that you see here, it looks like a tiny little square. See, that's why the it doesn't do it justice, the drawing. But that little tiny square is that monstrous machine you see behind me. That's it's only really let me see, it's oh, I can read it right here. It's 6 foot by 4 foot. And that's what it is. That's 6 foot wide by 4 foot deep. And obviously I'll be pulling it out and using it when I need to use it. That's the small CNC. The big CNC room, this one is going to house Colossus. So that Colossus that you see, that room is actually, that CNC sanding room is as big as my other room in the other shop. That's how big that is.
Does that mean that that's going to be laying out flat, or is it still going to be hanging on the wall?
It could be both. I am going to enclose it in a way that I could lift it onto, in case I need to use it vertically, because I can use my CNC vertically, or at a 45 or at a 30 or 15 degree angle, whatever. I've got that capability, and I just have to use it a lot slower at the moment until I eventually get to, which I've been saying for about a year and a half now, my counterbalance system, which I have all the parts. I just haven't put it together, and have no intention of putting it together until I move to the new place, because why am I going to put it together here when I'm not even going to use it here? And then yeah, that's it. But that is pretty much the whole shop. That's a nice little shop tour for you guys. So let's go ahead and I'm not even gonna, well, yeah, I guess I'll do a rough yeah, let's go ahead and transfer this here. Let me do this save as here, and at least we'll do a simple layout. Is there anything anybody else wants to see in the meantime? Well, because this is nothing more than a bunch of rectangles, and I don't want to waste your time with a bunch of rectangles. I mean, it's interesting seeing the shop, but let me see if I can come up with something quick and interesting looking.
Nobody has mentioned anything.
So I'll come up with something here. Let's see. Cutting boards. Everybody knows how to do that. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. This is all boring. I mean, everything here is cribbage board. That's no fun. What did they do here? Sorry, I'm just watching something. Oh, never mind. It's Ted's woodworking, so I'll just ignore that. I'm trying to find something really, really cool, but at the moment, nothing just pops out at me, Let's go ahead and show you guys how to make a. All right, I'll do this for you guys. Some of you guys, a lot of you guys like to. Hang on, let me stop this screen and share the other one. All right, so a lot of you guys like to. Let's go ahead and do a new one here. A lot of you guys like to create a map of your state. Okay.
Yeah.
Now I've seen a couple of guys actually with different pieces of wood create a puzzle of their counties in their state.
They've got one for Texas done like that.
And you got one for Texas, and there's a lot of people. No, somebody shout out a state out in the in the first state that you guys come up with. I'll pluck that off the internet and do a and show you guys. It's a very simple thing to do, but well, I've learned in life that sometimes people don't know what I consider extremely simple. Some people might
Marvin
not.
said Louisiana.
Louisiana is
He
okay.
would
So
say that one, wouldn't he?
that's right. There you go. Louisiana. All right. So what I'm going to do first of all is I'm going to go to Google and type in map Louisiana. Helps if I spell it right. And so that'll come up with a whole bunch of maps. Now, clearly I want, let me see here, images. Preferably I want something, wow, that's really, this crackled fleur-de-lis, is that, hang on a second. Is that the shape of Louisiana?
Pretty close.
I don't know about that little square. Okay, well, let's say it is. Well, no, let's look for something else. I don't want to continue. Now, if you guys can look for something like this, something that's, well, this is a little too detailed. Look for something simple. Look for something solid. You know what? This will have to do. We can do this one. All right. So now what I'll do is I will basically let me reduce this for now. Let me let me swap computers here because I'm going to do it. Hang on. I'm going to take that same image and give me a second and I'll switch over. There we are. All right. And I'm going to let me swap over to the other computer here. Show you guys what I'm doing. Now, you are going to have to, I mean, it would be best if you you know what? Let's assume you guys don't have Photoshop or anything like that. So I'm just going to go ahead and do it straight with this. Okay, so we take this, we drop it, we copy it as best resolution as you could possibly get on your desktop, and then you go back to your why is this showing? Hang on a second. Give me a second here. Can you see the full screen? Or hang on, let me.
I can see everything that you're showing there, but on the state, but
yeah, I took that off and it didn't update. Give me a second. Let me try this again. Share screen. There we go. That's more like it. Okay, so now we'll take we'll do our regular import. Actually, we'll create a new file first of all. Now we take and import a bitmap, and of course it's that desktop. Oh, quiet. Is this the one? Yep, there it is. Okay, so we'll take it. We'll enlarge it as big as we possibly can. Now, many of you guys have seen and done this a million times. Some of you guys have never done this. So First time for everything. Okay, now you got a nice big map of Louisiana. Now here's what I want to do. I want to take this and I want to bit trace it. Bit, 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 bit. There we go. Trace bitmap. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose the fading to be, hang on a second. We'll choose the colors here. And every single color we'll choose except for white. And notice as I'm choosing the colors, it's blocking off. It's basically getting rid of everything. Now let's see here. Let's see. There we go. We'll go to 100%. Let me see what happens this way.
And see, that's one thing I've not done. I've not used the fading in anything so far.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, because you could basically, I mean, you could see it. Oh God. Hang on a second. Minimum colors. There we go. Minimum colors, and we'll choose all of those. And preview. Okay, so obviously we have a bit of noise here because this county was white. So, well, that's easy enough. First of all, let's go to the layers and get rid of our bitmap layers so we don't see that. All right. So now we're not looking at our bitmap layer, but now we have to get rid of all these dots. First thing we got to do is, of course, ungroup it all. Okay, we finished our trace bitmap. I'm trying to, hello. I finished with you, close. There we go. And so we'll take our arrow. We will click, right click, and actually, let's just do it this way. Ungroup. All right, so we ungroup our layers. We choose everything. Actually, let me select all. Make it easier this way.
That's right.
And not choose the state. And there is our state. Did I miss anything? I'm sure Louisiana has a bunch of islands or whatever. But anyway, there is our simple cutout. Okay, so we have a simple cutout of Louisiana. Now, go to toolpaths. We choose Louisiana. We choose a profile toolpath. Now, cut depth. I believe I put 0.75 for the depth. I'm not sure, but I'll check that in a second. I'm going to select a 16th inch end mill just for the sake of, clarity, whatever. And make sure it's outside. Yes, it is. And calculate. All right, so it calculated. It's cutting it through and preview all toolpaths. We have just hopefully cut out our entire shape of Louisiana, get rid of what's not Louisiana. And so now we have a map of Louisiana. Now, obviously, you have the original bitmap. So you could, if you wanted to, you can go as far as, but it's going to take a lot of time on your hands. You have your map of Louisiana. Rather than cutting out Louisiana, you could do the following. You could do you could make a puzzle for your kids, and go back to your profile, and rather than saying, in fact, don't get rid of the profile altogether. Hang on, delete. Actually, we'll just leave it there. We'll create a new one. We'll create a pocket, and the pocket will go to a depth of 1/2 inch. And we'll use a 16th again. Calculate. It does its little calculations. It's using a quarter to gut it all out, and then so reset. Now I'm going to say reset all toolpaths, rather reset preview and view only visible, because I don't want that profile, obviously I don't want that one. I just want the pocket. And this is what you will see. You will have your board. Now, granted, you guys have seen me do this before, where I take a 1/4 inch on the outside and create a border. Well, do that. In fact, I could do that real quick. Boy, this is taking forever. Maybe the next time I'll do the okay. So you have here the base for Louisiana. Well, let's do something better than that. Let's first of all, let's add. Okay, first of all, not that profile. That's not what I want. Okay, first of all, let's take this and go on the outside, outwards, 1/4 inch offset. Boom. I put inwards. Hate it when that happens. Let's do outwards. Boom. All right, now we take our profile toolpath, and this is the one we want now. So calculate that. Great. Our pocket toolpath, let's just go ahead and add a 1/2 inch on there. That would should have a 1/2 inch end mill on here. There it is. Should make it faster. Calculate. And now we shall calculate everything. Preview all toolpaths. Oops. Shoot. Come on. Stop. That's not what I wanted. Reset. Now preview all toolpaths. So it's cutting out everything, obviously in the wrong order, because you shouldn't have cut out the profile first, but you guys should know that. But it did cut out the profile, and now it's cutting out the insides. So let me wait for it to be done, because apparently, I should have done it in one pass. This is just for illustration's sake. There it goes. Okay, so we have our Louisiana, and if I get rid of the junk, come on, there you go. We now have a Louisiana-shaped puzzle where Louisiana fits inside it. Now, you still have, although I hid it, you still have your bitmap layer of all your little counties.
Parishes.
Parishes. Sorry.
No, they don't have
You're right.
counties
You're right.
there.
No counties over there. They're parishes.
They're different.
So you got all your little counties. If you wanted to go through the trouble, and I'll tell you, if you did do that and you sold it, you could probably sell something like this on Etsy for easily $100. But basically, it's a lot of work. You can take every single one of these colors, and you can create shapes with every single one of these colors. And then you'll do the wonderful thing called nesting, which you use the nesting tool. It will automatically separate these things. You have to put a gap and a border for each one. It will cut them all for you. Before you do that, obviously, put the name, if you like, on each county. You can V-carve the names. Now, granted, this is going to take a lot of time on the machine. You're probably looking at maybe 3 hours of time if you have it very, very efficient. What's the word I'm looking for? Optimized. If you optimize it, you are looking at probably 3 hours to cut out one puzzle. Now, I mean, this is like an 18 by 18 puzzle or something, 16 by 16, a reasonable shape. And I mean, you could sell it. You could sell it. More so if you paint them these colors. you do something like paint these colors, and that's an easy thing to do because you probably got maybe, I don't know, let's just say you can come up with 8 different colors. Well, what you simply do is cut 8 different puzzles. All right, so now you've got one color per puzzle. One you've got one color of each one. So you can combine and mix and match, put them all together. They're all interchangeable. They all have their names on. And the reason why I'm saying paint them first is you take because you want to paint it before you cut it.
Mm-hmm.
And possibly even lacquer it before you cut it, polyurethane it. That way, sand it, get it nice and polished. And then when it comes time to cutting it, not only will it cut it, but first you will do the V carves, and then they'll pop out. If you wanted to go through the trouble of that's a lot of trouble. If it's for your grandkids, well worth it. If it's for a sale, I don't know anyone that would go through the trouble of painting them all and filling in all the little. There's a lot easier ways. Like, for instance, you could put a Sharpie on your machine with a pen holder and have it write all the names in Sharpie, and then you just lacquer the whole thing, preferably with something that won't dissolve the Sharpie, and you're good to go. And that is probably a quick way to get maybe another $50 to $100 sale per item on it. Because think about it. If it's wood, if you're going to go through the trouble of staining it, which obviously for people like us, it looks much better. But this color here, this is what sells. That color sells. Yes, and if you can get a nice wooden thing, even if it's only the surfaces that are colored, you put a nice black border around the entire outside, and that's it. That's all you need. And guess what? You could probably crank out a few of these. Do 8 at a time if you have 8 different colors, and then now you have 8 sets. Pack them away, put them on eBay. The trick now, folks, at this point, and so since we're just past 9 o'clock, I'll mention this last bit of advice for anybody that's whether a hobbyist or whether you want to do a full-time business with the CNC. And by the way, I do have a CNC controller that I sell, the Javi Box, going on 220 sold so far.
All right,
so then. That's not bad for a year and 2 months time, huh? So anyway, if you are intent on making a business out of it, here's my advice when it comes to, the business in general. And I've mentioned this numerous times before. If you've got it in your head, if you've worked for other people all your lives, or if you're a young guy and you've never owned a business, in fact, for anyone that's never truly owned a business, the key to success is very simple, but unfortunately it involves hard work. It's called sales. It's called marketing. It's advertising, whatever you want to call it, whether advertising, networking, marketing, it's all a form of sales. There's a saying, and I say it all the time. There's a very famous saying, you build a better mousetrap and people will beat a path to your door. False. You could build the best mousetrap in the world. If nobody knows that you have it, no one will buy it from you. And word of mouth goes just so far. Now, if you can, in fact, my sale, frankly, I don't care because it's not a business. It's not a business for me. But my sales in the Hobby Box have been. I don't want to say flat, but maybe 3 or 4 a week. I was up at one time. I was doing 10 to 15 a week. When I finished the house, maybe I'll concentrate on it, or maybe I'll get my guys pushing into the woodworking shops and stuff. But right now, my guy is back to work with his with the call center with his real job. So, you know, because of COVID, we were doing other stuff, but we're really we make them, and when we get them, we build them, and you're probably looking at a 2-week turnaround tops, if not sooner, because we always have 2 or 3 in stock. But as far as the hobby boxes are concerned, it's a perfect example of, I know that there is a market for, easily, if I put myself out there, 20 a week, because I've done, not even trying, I've done that. But it's like anything else. My painting business, same thing. When I sit back and do nothing and relax, 0 jobs. I don't care if people know you're the best painter out there. I've spent, look, I'll be honest with you right now. Take this to heart. 7 years doing painting, and very, very successful at it. Got 3 crews. They're all running corporate jobs. They're on no new business. Why? Because I haven't lifted a finger to get new business. And you know what they say, if you're not going forward, you're going backward. Luckily, I got a lot of long-term contracts, and they're you know, it's basically static. But I'm not looking at it that way. If you, by any chance, I don't care what you sell, whether it's your services, whether it's woodworking, whether it's yourself. If you put yourself out there, that's the key to success. It's that simple. You know, if people say it all the time, knock on doors and this and that, and the only people that truly listen, ironically, are the ones that have gone through it and learned on their own. So nobody, you know, I'm sorry that I'm saying this, that it's going to fall on deaf ears, but because the bottom line is, when I was you, I didn't listen until I, you know, knocked my head into a wall and over and over and over, and then realize, hey, how did I become successful? Oh yeah, I ended up doing, by force, the stuff that I didn't want to do voluntarily. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of people out there that do it voluntarily first, and they're those young people that are extremely rich. And you know, there's many ways of being rich, but hard work is definitely a path to it. So,
what's on your show tonight, Phil?
Tonight on the show is going to be Saturday morning. No, not Saturday morning. Morning cartoon thing. Sesame Street on the retro show tonight. It's going to be Sesame Street. Mr. Rogers is going to be Zoom. It's going to be a lot of shows, a lot of morning shows from the 70s. In fact,
don't say HR Puff and stuff.
Well, that's part of it. That's part of it, but that won't be mentioned much. But there's a lot. There's a lot of basically kids shows of the 70s and 80s. And we're talking everything. I mean, we're talking Top Cat. We're talking Magilla Gorilla, George of the Jungle. I mean, you name it. And we're going to discuss it. So be here tonight, folks, for the show. Looking forward to it. There's Al. Zoom. Yep. Come on and zoom, zoom. Come on and zoom. We're gonna teach you to fly. We're gonna teach you to fly high.
Johnny Quest, I agree with him.
Johnny Quest. There's another one. I mean, I've got them all on the list, and there's a huge and extensive list. I mean, people are going to be shouting out a lot of shows, and then basically we're going to be talking about a few of them. But this is one of those shows that's going to be action-packed, because it's not just, I got 5 or 10 examples, or Coca-Cola versus Pepsi, where you can mention just so many soft drinks. This one is chock full of of cartoons and stuff from the 80s, 70s and 80s, and 60s as well. So, folks, join us later tonight at 10 o'clock. Al and I will be there, and if Russ wants to join in, he's more than welcome. I keep inviting him. He keeps saying, too late for me. And we'll be, it's basically guys in their 50s and 60s talking about the 70s and 80s. That's the Retro Show tonight at 10 p.m. on this same channel. So you guys have a wonderful week, and we'll see you all. I may or may not be here next week for this show. So stay tuned just in case. Have a wonderful day. Bye, all.
Good night, everybody.